just because her 9-year-old daughter was beautiful. Her father's eyes glinted with a greedy look. That afternoon, Molly's world completely shattered. In a fit of rage, she set a fire that consumed the whole family. The surviving Molly was sent to a convent. To avoid being expelled, she threw herself into the arms of the abbess, like a drowning cat clutching its only lifeline. She bet right. The abbess overturned all opposition, deciding to keep the wild girl. 6 years passed in the blink of an eye, and under the abbess's protection and guidance, 15-year-old Molly bloomed into a dazzling beauty. From an illiterate village girl, she transformed into a cultured, elegant young woman. In the convent, the abbess not only secured a lifelong future for Molly, but also moved the governor's daughter to a lower floor, giving Molly her place in a room close to the abbess's own. This favor granted Molly special treatment in the convent. Once, during an earthquake, the abbess, ignoring the safety of other noble nuns, immediately shielded Molly with her own body. In that moment, Molly felt the abbess's breath, heard her hurried heartbeat. Suddenly, Molly's feelings changed, no longer just a daughter's dependence, but a complex mix of admiration, possessiveness, and youthful stirrings. She fell in love with this virgin-like woman. As Molly's body matured, following custom, the old nun would tightly bind her chest with white cloth, but when it came time to finish, the abbess suddenly said she would complete it. She gently tightened the cord. Molly leaned against the abbess's embrace, and young feelings began to quietly grow. That night, the abbess had planned to take Molly to the observatory to stargaze, but a sudden rainstorm forced a cancellation. She led Molly back to her room, and handed her a large nightgown. Molly froze for a moment, and the abbess, assuming Molly might feel embarrassed, turned away. Molly, seeing this, also turned her back. Greedily, she inhaled the scent that belonged to the abbess. That night, due to the fear of thunder, they slept in the same bed. In the middle of the night, Molly woke from a dream, only to hear strange sounds coming from behind her. Molly was stunned, but then came an overwhelming joy. She thought she had become the object of the abbess's fantasies. Soon after, war broke out, and the abbess had to return to her family to handle affairs. In the few days she was gone, Molly became the target of exclusion from the governor's daughter. Out of jealousy, Molly had stolen the abbess's love. She joined forces with other nuns from noble families, gossiping about Molly. Faced with the insults from these noble young ladies, Molly learned to respond with a cold smile. As long as the abbess was there, she feared nothing. Back in her room, Molly curled up in the corner, counting the days since the abbess had left. At that moment, a letter slipped through the door crack, filled with burning love and desire, signed with the first letter of the abbess's name, L, and a lock of golden hair. Molly, overwhelmed by the sudden happiness, completely believed that the abbess and she were of one heart. Before long, the abbess returned, and she took Molly back to the observatory to stargaze. As Molly neared the edge, the abbess reminded her to be careful, for the railing was old and she might fall. Under the starry sky, the atmosphere became unbearably intimate, and the abbess began to share her past with Molly, confessing how, though born noble, she loathed the touch of men, a nightmare caused by her family's forced marriage. To Molly, these words were nothing short of a confession of love. But then, the abbess's reaction was one of sheer terror and shame. She violently pushed Molly away, fell to the ground in agony, and repented. Molly staggered down from the observatory, and all her beautiful fantasies were shattered in that moment.